Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. I'm your host, Nate Weitzer, flying solo today as Josh Lander flies back across the Atlantic from his European vacation. We will be back together on Tuesday and Wednesday and throughout the rest of the week as we continue to bring you 2 game videos and 1 player props video. I'm making good on that promise here on Monday. We got a nice sizable slate here in the NBA, plenty to choose from, and I'm going to bring you those videos. So if you are liked and subscribed to the page, you're going to see them when they drop. You're going to get our game picks and our player props both hitting above 60% here on the season, which is all you can ask for. I think we got some pretty good picks here on a 7-game slate. And it's the first game on the docket here that I'm looking at. Hornets are plus 1.5 at Orlando. I'll run through the other 6 games here. The lines, the Raptors are minus 5.5 at Pistons. Thunder plus 12 at Celtics as they're in a back-to-back situation. I mentioned they scored 145 last night, yesterday afternoon in New York. And the Celtics are an absolutely dynamic offensive team. So 228 for a total. Definitely intriguing. I think you might want to tease it down with the other game I talk about, the Clippers, to get minus 1.5 and over. But I digress. Continuing, Suns plus 2 at the Heat. Kind of like the Heat there, but I want to see a little bit more the Suns without Chris Paul. The other game I mentioned, Clippers minus 5.5 at Houston. Definitely think the Clippers are going to win. But if you need to tease that down a little bit, I would suggest teasing the Celtics over down along with it. Hawks are plus 4 at the Bucks. Drew Holiday might not be able to go in that one. That's a bit iffy in terms of betting on either side. Giannis should be back, though. And then the Spurs are plus 7.5 at the Warriors, who are on a back-to-back. I would steer clear of that one. It's been pretty wonky this year for the Spurs. And I mean, the Hornets are not competitive right now. They did just get LaMelo Ball back, and that seemed to spark their offense. They gave up 132 at Miami and lost an 8th straight game. They've lost 10 of their last 11. That includes a 20-point loss in Orlando without LaMelo, of course. But, very troubling when he scored 30 points in the first half in the NBA. And LaMelo was not exactly like lights out. I mean, their offense, maybe more pace, maybe a little bit better ball movement with him in there. But he went 1 for 9 from 3, had 5 fouls, was a minus 18 in 28 minutes against the Heat. And, I don't think he's had nice numbers his last 3 against Orlando, for sure. 24 points per game, 7 assists, 42% from 3. Hornets won 2 out of those 3. But now Orlando is using Bol to guard opposing point guards and play point guard. They have size and length all over the place. Bol has a 107 defensive rating. He has blocked approximately 1/4 of shot attempts against him. I mean, the guy's like 7'3", springy, incredible wingspan. If they do deploy him on LaMelo, it's going to be tough sledding for him. As a guy who was quick enough to get to the rim, but then the Magic are also starting like 3 bigs behind Bol. And his supporting cast, LaMelo, is going to be depleted here. Cody Martin, Gordon Hayward are out. Dennis Smith is doubtful. So it's LaMelo, Terry Rozier, and Kelly Oubre who will be taking on a huge load of the offense here. I mean, the best option against Orlando is to spread them out and try to hit a bunch of threes. And that worked for the Kings and Rockets, who beat the Magic during this long homestand they're on. This is their 6th straight at home. It opened with a win over the Warriors, the ultimate spread you out team. And then those 2 losses, and then Paolo goes down with an ankle injury. And interestingly, their defense just becomes lights out as they crush the Mavs and the Suns in succession, hold those 2 teams to 28% from deep and posted a 98 defensive rating. Now, Paolo is a game time decision here. I think he might return, like going up against the reigning rookie of the year, LaMelo, and showing what he can do. And I don't think that he's such a negative defensively that they're just going to regress. I think it's a difference in coaching and adjustments after they got kind of smoked by the Rockets of all teams, gave up 24 threes at a 50% clip, made some adjustments that they're not going to, that you have to do when you play this many bigs at once, so that they were able to contain them. And Charlotte is just an awful 3-point shooting team right now. I mean, that's part of the reason they've struggled without Gordo the last few years. He misses a ton of games, and In their last three now, they're shooting 30% from deep, which is 27th in the league. Paolo, in that meeting, that 20-point win over the Hornets, he went for 21, 12, and 7 and was a plus 27 in 27 minutes. Part of the reason that they just completely blew doors off the Hornets. And what the Magic do poorly is exactly what the Hornets can limit. Like, they're number one in fast break points allowed. Well, the Magic are dead last in fast break points scored because they play gigantic lineups. They want to get in the half court. They want to go high-low, and they want to pound you in the paint. They're 8th in paint points, and the Hornets give up the 8th most paint points. They're 28th in three-pointers made, and that's what the Hornets defense excels at, allowing the 5th best percentage and 6th fewest makes. And defensively, the Magic give up a lot of three-point attempts, like I'm saying, but it hasn't really mattered. Hornets also giving up the 5th most free throw attempts. That's a key here, as Orlando's going to look to press that size advantage down low. Mason Plumlee was kind of ineffective. I mean, he was really ineffective the last time these teams met. He's had a nice run since then. I would expect him to play a lot more minutes, and I'm going to look at his prop of 8.5 rebounds because they're just going to need him out there to battle all these bigs, Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, and the rest of them, especially Paolo out there too. I mean, second chance points have been huge for Orlando. I think those should be there. And they're just well rested. They're at home, and Charlotte is, it's kind of sliding into the Wembanyama sweepstakes at this point, which Orlando is firmly in as well. But they're competing with their interesting lineups, sort of a cool basketball experiment. And I think in this particular matchup, the fact that you have Bol out there to bother one of those two guards that the Hornets are going to depend so much on, I do like Orlando a lot to win a third straight here, maintain that momentum after beating two good West Coast teams. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Like and subscribe to the page, and you'll see when each of these videos drop. We'll be coming back for 4 picks for our player props video today. And until we see you next, happy betting.